Hi, my name is Lee Grissom. This is my discussion board post regarding the PARS model. Something I found particularly interesting about the PARS model is that it's based on the power of the group process following a group experience. The takeaway from the group experience is going to come from the processing of that experience. This is where the learning happens. The PARS model is a concrete way to learn how to conduct group processing. I found it easy to understand when presented in the 3x3 matrix of stages and focus. The 3 stages of group processing were listed as reflecting, understanding, and applying, and that was down the side of the matrix, and then across the top, the focus areas were listed as activity, relationships, and self. And you move through each stage level, one focus at a time, and that made this model easy to remember and to use in the processing of a group experience. I plan to use this model as a school counselor, probably working in a school counselor's office setting with a group of middle school students, probably focused on behavior modification. Many middle school students struggle with how to handle conflict appropriately, respecting themselves and others. The skill can be learned, and a group activity that promotes cooperation and team building would conceptualize for these students how our actions affect others. A great activity for this group would be the name game. The group's in a circle and each person says their name and one thing they did this past weekend, using a hand motion to demonstrate that activity. For example, I would say, my name is Lee Grissom. One thing I did this weekend was I went swimming. And they would use circular hand motions to demonstrate swimming. Then the group echoes each of the students' introductions and the hand motions, and they add on a person each time until you go around the entire circle and everyone's included. In processing this activity with the PARS model, I would begin with reflective questions, starting first with the activity. What did we just do? Then regarding the relationship, how did we help each other in this activity? And then finally, regarding self, what was one thing you did to be successful in this activity? Then I move to the next level of the matrix, which would be understanding questions. First of all, regarding the activity, what did we learn about this from this activity? Then regarding relationships, what did we do that helped us work well together? And then moving to the focus area of self. What do you think you contributed to this group? And then the final level would be applying questions. First, again, with the activity, what is something you do every day that you depend on others for their help, like we used in this activity? And then, of course, regarding relationships, what is something we did as a group that we could do in school to help us get along better? And then lastly, self. What is something you did well in the group that you can also do well in your friendships? And given the setting and the population of students being middle school age, I think the adjustments or modifications I would make would be getting to the level in the reflecting questions. I think the students would do fine. In the understanding and application levels, I think students may need help, and the facilitator may have to suggest some answers to their questions, as they may lack the maturity developmentally to make those connections on their own. And another modification I would suggest would be allowing students to draw their responses to the questions regarding the group process. And this might be a little easier for them than trying to verbalize their answers. And then they could share their pictures with the group. So those are just some ideas for how to modify this activity using it with the population that I'll be working with. Thank you and have a great weekend.